Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, July 27th, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is, as I listen to my heart, I feel my love light expand. And today we have the day before the new moon, which means we're deep in the trenches of the dark of the moon, deep in the Cancer trenches of the dark of the moon, which means the feels could feel like that. That being said, I do love this one aspect that we're having today. Just the one. The rest of them, whatever. No, the rest of them are fine. But this one is Mercury in Leo connecting to Chiron in Aries. And to me, this is a reminder of who we truly are. Chiron in Aries is working to help us heal our I am energy. And my personal belief is that we are that which we come from. And what we come from, I believe, is a creative power, a creative force of love, which means we are all, secretly or not so secretly, powered by love. And with Mercury in Leo, hopefully we can grasp this concept and remember the foundation of love that created us. So that's a beautiful connection. That being said, Mercury and Leo can very easily, very eagerly connect us to our ego as well. So that's something that we need to look at today as Chiron and Mercury connect. Your ego may be popping up, saying what it thinks you are, what it thinks you should be, what it's picked up along the way of others thinking what you should be. And so watch for that as we move through the day, because that may give you ideas of where there's some energy to shed. So love, love, love this from a lovely person. I received this little batch of roomy snacks. That's what I'm calling them, roomy snacks. It's like a verse on here. And I pulled one beforehand, and I love this. It's so perfect. The little roomy snack is, the awakened heart is like a lantern. Keep it sheltered from the turbulence of the winds of desire. And while I am not a desire hater, I do recognize that sometimes we can get so caught up in that kind of energy, in the energy of desire, of what we think we want, that we forget to notice the beauty, the loveliness of what is right here. And so this is a reminder in this energy today to take a little moment beyond your ambitions, beyond your desires, as Mars and Uranus and the North Node all come together. Like, we may be feeling that energy so strongly, and yet the simplicity of honoring and appreciating this moment now can inspire that power of love to, like, it feels like getting a lawnmower to start. That's the image and sound that I'm hearing. It's like, oh, that one didn't do it. Oh, that one didn't do it. There it goes. Okay, so spend a little time in your consciousness around that energy today, because that'll help with this new moon that we're building into. I don't want to dig into the new moon today. I'm going to dig into it for tomorrow's scope, since it is tomorrow that we have this new moon. But I will say that, we place so much emphasis on like a new year, and while we are in galactic new year energy, which is lovely, we've gotta, what do we gotta do? We gotta recognize that every day, every breath is brand new, and new moons are a time monthly where we can connect to the new. And what a better time to connect to our new path than this week with this insane astro, North Node, Uranus, Mars, and this new moon coming in, and a commitment to following your heart. So keep that in mind as we're moving through the day. So let's dig into some of these other things besides this Mercury Chiron energy. The moon in Cancer is making the rest of the connections through the day minus one that we'll talk about. Moon in Cancer connecting to Uranus, connecting to Neptune, and connecting to Pluto. I should mention that it is in part Revolution Evolution Day. So besides the dark of the moon, things may be a little bit more triggery with that. So watch for that, because anything that's coming up that's triggered, again, can be a calling for healing, can be a calling for cleansing as we build to this really intense connection. Again, this Mars-Uranus North Node connection is really huge. And really can be a big shift in alignment if we can listen, right? Listen to the heart, listen to our soul, listen to our higher guidance, right? So as the moon moves through Cancer, connecting to Uranus and Pluto specifically, those energies may, again, stir up some of the dust, some of the discontent, some of the stuff that needs to leave. If you need to cry, let yourself cry. That is such a powerful cleansing energy. So allow that to move through. That Moon Cancer opposition is going to be happening around 6 p.m. Pacific time, but we may feel some of that tension. We may feel powerless around some things. And again, how can you find some appreciation even in some of that powerlessness that's coming up? Again, we always have like, I want to be going there, I want to be going there, I want to be going there. But this moment right here has so much for you, and ultimately when you connect to this moment, you may find a new path connecting to you to that thing that you think, you feel that you want, right? The moon and Neptune, really strong intuition to help guide you in and through this energy as well. So be connecting to that. Take a little time to settle in and listen. We're so lucky to always be guided. Whether we're paying attention or not, we are always being guided, but it's up to us to pay attention, to pay consciousness. And maybe that's one of the values, like the high value of listening to that higher direction. So take a little time to connect into that today as well. The only thing I did not mention is Lilith and Venus connecting. Lilith reminds you to go your own way. And what's Lilith's way? The higher guidance way. Lilith is connected to soul. Lilith is not so wild and outrageous that she's untethered. She's tethered to heart. She's tethered to soul. And we all have this peace within us. So listening to that peace within you is so important. By the way, Venus is at 11 degrees. So that's part of self-care. How can you listen to self-care needs today as you move through this energy? How can you tend to yourself? How can you, again, make that part of your value system as we move forward? This Mars-Uranus North Node energy really does feel like a portal. And it's like taking an exit to like a much better freeway is what it feels like. A much more direct, like clean freeway. I've been talking to Joe while he's on his trip, and so I have a lot of freeway things going on in my head right now. Let's look at the cards right now. Top of the cards, we have the Sun card, Innocence, connecting to this within you. One of my favorite Rumi verses is, you are the soul of the universe, and your name is love. And that is what fuels your innocence. It's also what can fuel your ultimate success. The Sun card is a card of success, but it's when we are connected into ourselves that we can align with that energy. So having that at the top of the cards is beautiful. That being said, right below it, there are some feels. The Sun card is melting that ice around some parts of ourselves that we've isolated away but need some processing. And this processing is really important in our own personal maturity process. Take the time that it needs. I have the Playfulness card in reverse, so it may not feel so playful today, but if you can, do make time for something that makes you laugh, something that makes you feel that joy bubble up inside, so you can remember, oh, this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. The final card that I have that I don't even want to show it, the Schizophrenia card. Mental Gymnastics. Again, this feels like it might be the pull between the ego and the heart that I talked about with the Mercury Chiron connection. So be really aware of that today, because it can get really confusing which is which. But the heart warms when you're connected to the heart. If you can't figure it out, feel into your heart, like physically, it'll tell you. All right, so I'm going to leave that here for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power. And honor your values. Namaste.